The television these days, and it's hard to tell which are the programs, which are the commercials. Welcome to the multi-billion-dollar world of the 30-minute infomercial, revolutionizing the way we shop, raising some interesting questions as well. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
Oh no, just look at that sticky mess.
Oh yes, it's the invasion of the infomercials. You've got your smart mop and your contour pillow, your topsy tail, your twist and brush, and your primo pasta machine.
Stop the insanity!
Some big-time companies don't think there's anything at all insane about infomercials. Electronic retailing, as the insiders call it, has become a $4 billion a year business. Kodak, Olympus Camera, and a photo processing chain got into infomercials early with the World of Photography, which ran on 150 stations nationwide. Lois Wright Morton of Cornell University is the author of a TV shopping consumer fact sheet.
We're taken in by the entertainment value, and then it becomes very easy to switch over and say, oh, gee, I really need that. That's really something that I could use.
I think a lot of the national advertisers have finally realized that a half-hour infomercial is a powerful form of communication to potential consumers. You can give them a lot more information in 30 minutes than you can in 30 seconds.
And not just information about products. Sometimes consumers are looking to improve themselves. Barbara DeAngelis, who this year sold $24 million worth of books and tapes about relationships, was a big winner at the most recent infomercial convention. She got 3 Nemas, the infomercial equivalent of the Oscar.
You know, infomercials were kind of laughed at by legitimate business years ago when they saw how much money could be made, when they saw that little fly-by-night companies in the Midwest were making $50, $100 million a year on a little tiny infomercial. I think their eyes opened a little bit.
Infomercial producers concede their industry still has a bit of a sleazy image. That wasn't helped much earlier this month when the reading program Hooked on Phonics, a heavy user of infomercials, was cited by the federal government for deceptive advertising practices.
And I usually do that like 2 or 3 times a week.
Carmen Cotta of Los Angeles confesses she's hooked on infomercials. So far, she's bought about $2,000 worth of the gadgets and services they advertise on TV.
I bought a juice machine. I bought self-improvement tapes. I've bought exercise tapes. I bought an ab isolator, which is like an exercise machine. Of course, my handy-dandy mop.
Carmen is one of the estimated 10 million Americans who are TV shoppers.
The one thing about infomercials is you don't have to get dressed. You don't have to go to the mall. You don't have to find a parking space. You just dial 1-800.
They are changing the face of advertising in this country, making it easier than ever for shoppers to give in to their impulses. But the old warning, let the buyer beware, applies more than ever in the age of the infomercial.
Fantastic.
George Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
More on money tonight, and 2 new records announced today. The Federal Election Commission said that with a total of $589,500,000 spent by all of the candidates, the 1994 congressional campaign was the most expensive ever. And the Postal Service said, as predicted, this past Monday was the heaviest mail handling day on record. More than 250 million letters and packages were postmarked. Here's a picture just south of Mexico City today. Mount Popocatlpetl in eruption. Smoke and ash dusting nearby villages, but so far, no reports of injuries. Now you know why they call it simply Mount Popo. When we come back in a moment, a natural resource or just a killer, the different faces of the wolf. Hearing a lot about next year is the wolf in the West. That's the reintroduction of wolves into Yellowstone National Park. Ranchers in that area are livid, saying that the wolf is a threat to their way of life. But as NBC's Roger O'Neill tells us tonight, in Minnesota, life with the wolf goes on.
On a frozen lake in Minnesota, a pack of timber wolves have some fun.
They're all kind of milling around now. There's at least 5 of them.
The picture doesn't fit the image of the big bad wolf, a picture painted by ranchers in the West opposed to the reintroduction of wolves.
Okay, they're going to line out single file.
In the northern third of Minnesota, where more than 2,000 wolves roam, there is general acceptance of the animal.
We've worked with hundreds of these animals up close on the ground, and if people have fears about wolves that are primarily based on ignorance.
Like the West, the government tried to exterminate wolves in this part of the country too. But here, with thousands of lakes and thick forests, the animals managed to escape government bounty hunters. And their continued presence in these north woods is the main reason why Minnesotans are so much more tolerant of wolves today. But as wolf numbers have grown, so has the territory they hunt in and the problems they cause. Cow, sheep, and turkey losses are up, although still less than 1% of all farm animals. And a program to reimburse farmers for losses has in the last 14 years nearly quadrupled to $32,000 last year.
You know, and they're hunters. They know how to kill.
Julian Brosnowski says he's lost 75 cows and calves to wolves.
Deer may be their favorite, but cows are a lot easier to catch in a fence. And, you know, once they get a taste of it, they're going to keep on.
But Brosnowski doesn't want the wolf eliminated. He wants better control, and that's the other piece of the puzzle to public tolerance of the animal.
The wolf has survived in Minnesota largely because we have been able to destroy the wolf when it has caused problems.
800 wolves have been killed since 1977, but scientists admit now there are too many timber wolves in Minnesota's woods, and the delicate balance that exists between wolves and man could be in jeopardy if there isn't more control. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Ely, Minnesota.
That's nightly news for Wednesday. Tonight on Dateline NBC, the story of a mother dying of AIDS, trying to find a family for her children, and the heartwarming response. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.